to show you how to use radio buttons in Visual Studio in a Windows form. I'm basing this off an application earlier that where we tried out checkboxes. So I have checkboxes already here, and now I'm going to add some radio buttons. So again, I'm in Common Controls, go down to Radio Buttons, and I'll add in a couple radio buttons here. I think I'll add in 3 radio buttons. Now radio buttons are a little different than checkboxes in that only one can be selected at a time. It comes from the old car radio, when if you push one button in, the other ones pop out. Only one button, only one radio station can be tuned in at a time. So I'm going to have one label here. It'll just show the status of the radio buttons. I'm not going to rename these right now. Just radio button 1, radio button 2, radio button 3, and label 3 will be the 3 things I'll be working on. I will look at the events from here, and again, similar to checkboxes, we'll look at the checked event. So I'm just going to go into radio button 1, and there's a checked change event similar to checkboxes, and then I can just look at radio button 1 dot checked. I'm going to put that in an if-then statement. If radio button 1 dot checked, and here I'm just going to update the status of the label. Label 3 is what I'm using for this one. Label 3 dot text equals button 1 selected. I'm going to do the same thing for the other radio button. Okay, so I've added code now for all 3 radio buttons. Each one is checking the radio button checked change event, and I'm then checking the radio button and seeing if it is checked, and if so, I'm displaying button 1 selected. So now if I run this, well, notice with checkboxes we could have them both selected, but with radio buttons, when we select one, the other ones are deselected, so only one can be selected at a time. And all I'm doing here is again updating my label here as I check on one box or the other. Now let's look at having multiple radio boxes on a form. If they're just on the form by themselves, they're all in what is called one group. If you want them grouped, so you want maybe 2 groups of independent radio buttons, we have to use a container for that. So I'm going to go away from the common controls and into containers. And there's a container called a group box. This is good for grouping a set of controls, particularly radio buttons. So I'm going to grab the radio button. I'm going to grab my label 2 and put them down in here inside this group control. Now I can check if I move the group control around, it should move the radio buttons around also. So that's a good indication that they're all in the group. Sometimes when you drag things on top of a group or whatever, they may not always get selected. So I'm going to then create another group here. And here I'm going to actually just put my radio buttons. I'm going to go back to my radio buttons under common controls and drag and put. You can see when I drop them, the group box will be highlighted. So I'm just going to drag them back here. And let's just do 2 radio buttons in there. Now when I run this, I can select things in radio button, the group 1 and group 2, but they're independent, so I can have one item selected in group 1 and one item selected in group 2, but they're independent. So when I select radio button in group 1, it doesn't affect at all group 2 ones. So again, you can group these radio buttons. Your code will not change at all. In fact, my code still should work fine here displaying it, even though it's in a group box. And again, I can change this group box, and maybe I'll change the title of the group box, the text that's displayed there, to be more appropriate to what I'm selecting. You can also use this for checkboxes if you want. So that wraps up radio buttons. Again, your primary choices if you want exclusive choices. User has to choose one or the other. Use radio buttons if a user can choose multiple options. A checkbox is the way to go.